There's a lot of myths and things that are overrated in MMA, and one of them is wrestlers. A lot of people think fighters like Khabib, Chimaev before he got beat by Sean Strickland, Marab, even in Islam, even though I think Islam's better because he can strike too, better than a lot of people, I still think wrestling is a bit overrated in MMA. And this is not to mean wrestling is bad. Wrestling is probably the best base for MMA. But I just want to go through some myths about wrestling and kind of show it's a one-way style. Not to say it's easy to beat at all, because it's not. For most people, you kind of have to understand it. And I think one of the people who understands it the best is Conor McGregor. Now, you could say, oh, but Conor lost to the wrestlers he fought. He only lost to Khabib, and that's the only wrestler he really fought other than Chad Mendes, I believe. I don't think he really fought any of the pure wrestlers. But there's an old clip where Conor talks about a misconception.
Another myth in this game full of rookies. There's many rookies in this game that pretend to be professionals, but there are many, many rookies. But a myth in this game was don't kick a wrestler. Remember that myth? Remember that myth about that? Don't ever kick a wrestler? That's right, don't ever kick a wrestler.
Here's the
don't
game
ever kick a
plan.
wrestler
You get good
wrong,
at everything.
Because the Thai style is push.
The
They
game
push
plan
with
is
the
get
kick,
good
they
at
push with the
everything.
teeth. It's easy to catch that. So it's easy to catch that. But kick correct. Have your kick like a whip. Then you can kick any man and with no repercussion. You can't catch a whip. And that's
Well,
what you
I'm
saw
just
with
looking
the
forward to
Chad
that fight again
He
in
could
full
not
camp with
catch.
Chad.
He couldn't understand what was happening. He was hitting the shot. He was trying to catch, and his senses were off. They were hitting him that quick.
You were,
he tried
you
to
were
escape.
snapping it. You weren't doing it as a push kick.
Exactly.
Are you
and
playing
he was trying to
this?
escape.
You forget how the fight went?
That's
He
what- no,
understands. He
was-
understands.
But he
what I
was
said.
taking down the
No,
whole
but-
fight.
Yeah, well, but when I
Well, he's
saw
like,
it,
oh, you never
Okay,
get
the
taken
wrestling
down.
mentality
Everyone
of
has to body.
scoring a point.
Hey, I'm
Congratulations,
not
you
in
scored
that,
a
sir.
point.
Yeah.
But in the
Hey, you did a
in the
good
fight
job.
to the death, points mean jack. They mean
Exactly. I agree.
Now in that clip, he doesn't really mention anything about takedown defense, like defending single legs, double legs, or any type of trip. So he only really mentions about getting taken down from your kick being caught, which is a big thing. If you can throw an offensive weapon against somebody and not have any repercussions for it, you should probably win that fight. So I want to show some comparisons of Conor fighting wrestlers, and then I'm gonna go to Justin Gaethje Khabib, and then I'm gonna go to this fight. It highlights it that Khabib is super style based in the way he wrestles. Now Conor starts this fight super aggressive, and he throws a knee, which I don't think was the best idea, but he's constantly pressuring, constantly throwing that front snap to the body. It is not a teep necessarily. Like he said, it's more of a whip, a snap, than a push. Because if you push, can be caught, like he said. But this fight was just kind of just pressure, offense, and kill the body with the kicks and even the punches. Yes, he did get taken down, but that's not the point. Like he said, you're trying to score points. Conor does never fight to score points. He's trying to knock you out or finish you the whole time, because I think Conor sees fights as like a life or death. If you was to fight to the death and you get knocked out, or even if you get choked out, you are going to die in that situation if that person is trying to kill you. But front snaps like that to the body and then constant pressure, it's so tiring for wrestlers, or really kind of anyone, to fight this kind of style or constantly being backed up. He does get taken down again. The point isn't always about the result or how the fight went, it's about the mentality. He does get up, and this is the finish. And he's constantly backing him up, throwing hard combinations, and, well, not really hard, but he's just throwing combinations to keep the pressure on. He knows Chad is hurt. He knows he is tired. And that confirms it right there. He is shooting panic takedowns because he is gassed. He's hurt. Like, he is messed up. There was no way Chad was ever going to survive a third round. Gets hit with a clean body kick, then the snap again, then a boom to the head, and he's done. There's nothing he can do because he was constantly being pressured, kicked, just beat up the whole time. Now, I know it's different styles, but the whole mentality is completely different in this fight. Like, Justin Gaethje is just not doing anything. His intention is what? What is his intention? He's trying to read Khabib. You know what Khabib's gonna do. You don't have to read it. There's nothing you can really say, like, he's trying to do this. He's just scared of the takedown threat. And it shows later in the fight when Khabib starts pressuring him back and he starts freaking out. Like, he's freaking out. He's tired. He's starting to gas out. When have you ever seen in your life Justin Gaethje look like this against anyone else he's ever fought? You haven't, because there's no takedown threat. People are terrified of takedown threat, and they shouldn't be. They should acknowledge it in their head, like, this guy could take me down, or this guy is a pure wrestler, one of the best wrestlers in MMA history. But Justin Gaethje is just backing up, terrified, throwing hard shots. Calm down. This is like one of the best fights of fight relaxed. This is what happens when you don't fight relaxed. This is what happens when you are terrified of someone's skill set. It's going to eat you alive mentally and in the fight. Justin Gaethje gassed himself out in this fight. And look at Khabib. Every time he shoots, it's against the cage. It's when he can take Justin down against the cage. It's never in the center of the octagon. It's never in a 50-50 position, I guess you could say. Always when Khabib has the advantage on the cage, because Khabib only wrestles against the cage. If you pressure Khabib back, he will be forced to shoot in the middle of the cage, and that would be your best chance of defending the takedown, because he's not as comfortable there. And this Conor fight kind of showed it. Khabib gets backed up, and when have you ever seen Khabib shoot in the first 15 seconds of a fight? He normally shoots after 2 minutes, 3 minutes. He starts the fight slow because he knows you're terrified of the takedown, so he doesn't have to rush. But when you're not terrified of the takedown, he has to rush because he's getting pressured. He immediately shoots 15 seconds into this fight because he's getting pressured back. It's the same with Merab. Now, Merab is probably the best example of this type of stuff. Like Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley has a super style that never works against a wrestler. Merab was born to beat Sean O'Malley. He was made in a lab to beat Sean O'Malley. That pressure style kind of wrestling, like cardio wrestling kind of thing, is always going to beat O'Malley. If O'Malley wasn't scared of the takedown or actually threw volume and kicks instead of baiting for a counter like he did against Aljo, it worked, but it isn't going to work against everyone. You're just not going to beat a guy like Merab if you're just baiting counters. But look what happened when he fight Jan. Jan wasn't fighting scared. First fight, he had a broken hand. That second fight, he wasn't fighting scared. He was, in most moment, he was backing Merab up. Merab is not durable. I think people have this misconception that all wrestlers are just durable machines that can take anything. Merab got hurt in the Sean O'Malley fight. He got almost knocked out by Henry Cejudo, Marlon Morales. Umar rocked him 2 in the first round, I believe. Merab is not durable. He is probably the worst one in this group of wrestlers who have that kind of style of backing you up and taking you down. And Rob's kind of different. He uses cardio. That's his main weapon, which is even worse because if you're gassing out in fights, that one means either you didn't train well enough, or you're not relaxed, or you're simply just not good enough to defend his wrestling. And in that case, you just got to be offensive. But I just want to show bits of this fight. Boy throws a leg kick and he misses, but point is he's backing up. He's not pressuring Islam back. But it's kind of the same thing. Poirier's like waiting to be, what's the shot gonna look like? How is he gonna shoot? It's almost like he's like it's rigged or some shit. Like he's not fighting to the best of his ability. Islam's better because he actually can strike. He commits hard to this and then is relaxed enough to see the uppercut from a fucking mile away because it winded up from the floor and then take him down. Took him down, took his back, because that's what Islam does. And then the second round starts, and Poirier does the same kind of thing. He defends the takedown. He backs Islam up, which is better. But he was even outmatched on the feet. He got hit with a knee. He's getting outstruck. People, I don't want to ramble on too much, but people have a misconception about this fight specifically, that it was a war or it was some bloodbath, fucking crazy back and forth fight that, dude, if it went to a decision, Poirier could have won it, dude. 48-47 split decision, dude. No, he lost like every round. You could give him one round, and that's the round with the cut and the clinch thing where he threw them body shots. But this whole fight in a nutshell is Islam moving around, Poirier missing his jab, missing, trying to feint, trying to find something, because he's only a boxer, really. He doesn't do anything else. He's like an old school fighter. And then in moments, Islam would explode or throw some shots, and they would more than likely 80% of the time land like pretty clean. But since Islam is a wrestler, he doesn't really put that much pop or that much intent on his punches. He kind of does it enough that's respectable, and then he would shoot, and he would either get it or he would struggle a bit to get it. That was kind of the fight, other than like 3 moments Poirier had with the elbow that cut Islam, the body shots against the cage, and maybe defending a few takedowns. Maybe that 1-2 that he landed where he landed his left hand and Islam tried to throw a check hook. That's really all Poirier did. This was not a close fight. This was a 49-46 type of, maybe 50-45 type of performance if it would have went to a decision. Fight wasn't close. And he got fucking finished anyway, so what does it matter? Oh, dude, he gave Poirier his hardest fight. No, he didn't. You seen the fight with Volk? Even Islam said it himself. You seen the fight with Volk. That fight was way harder than this shit. And Makhachev, I think, wanted to strike with Poirier. He was saying to the lead up, if I remember correctly, like, I kind of want to strike. He was giving hints. I don't know if he actually said it, but he was giving hints. He seemed like he just wanted to strike a little. Maybe not. Maybe because he did fail, like, I think 2 takedowns in the second round. So maybe it was, oh, I can't get a takedown right now. Let me strike a bit. Poirier's missing. And Islam just throwing them moving forward combinations, and Poirier's defense is, I don't know if people overrate it, but I don't think his defense is that good. He kind of has that Leon type of defense. He gets pushed up against the cage. He defends it nicely. He does defend it nicely. But you can't just defend takedowns. You have to be doing damage. You have to be making people uncomfortable. Islam is uncomfortable in the way that he can't get takedowns, but he's not uncomfortable on the feet. I think he's pretty, like, I know I probably shouldn't be fighting on the feet. I know he has the acclimates and the knockouts and all this shit, and he's known for it, but I feel comfortable here. That's probably what's going through Islam's head. I know Khabib's probably mad at me, and I'm probably going to get thrown off a cliff for striking with Poirier, but now in moments like this, Islam just tried to clinch you. You pushed him off. Now he's throwing fucking knees and shit. When have you ever seen Islam throw a knee like that? Maybe against Volk? Put the fucking shit on him. And he gets cracked on the chin. Starts getting emotional with his fucking hands down and shit. Like, you're just making it easy. Oh, it's a war. They're going to war. Like, no, they're not. And then gets taken down. Like, you had him in the worst position he probably, in the whole fight so far, you had him in the worst position. But I think that's enough rambling on about this. I think I made my point, and I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit, and that's all.